on trial?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right.
No. It's just run downstairs again. No, we've just got him for a couple of days.
While he awaits judgment.
And he's all right. He's a bit funny about people coming to the door, and not in an angry way. He just gets mega excited and winds himself up. So,
Just an excitable dog.
Yeah, very much so. And at the minute, Vix doesn't really know how to handle it, so he's just up here with me.
Fair enough.
Oh, hold on for a sec. What?
Yeah.
Put him in the crate. He might calm down a bit then.
He's fine, love. He'll just calm down.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Back to it.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Interrupted. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll start again. It's cool.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. So there's noise in the background.
That's from it, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
What would that noise be?
That noise would be a dog.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got him trialing him for a weekend to see how he does, because in the past, and they know that he's had like reactivity issues and stuff. Reactivity, as in
performing the same actions again and again.
Yeah.
Planning weeks away. He
That's
keeps
the
going
one.
to Cornwall.
Yeah. But to be honest, like he's an amazing dog. We've I think we had him last night, and he's got he just now and again he just gets the zoomies, and you just have to find a way to calm him down. That's all.
Zoomies.
Yeah,
It's like the Moomins, but with more crack.
Well, you don't know it because your dog is in a perpetual state of them. Like it's just that wild release of energy.
Only when people come to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that like wild release of energy. And
it's the excitement of something new, something to do. I've got something to do.
Yeah. So he's gotten used to us, but then as someone else has come round, he starts and just gets like wound up again. But
so when you say wound up, that implies like stressed or something. It's just excitement, right?
It's just massive excitement, like throwing himself all over the room and like body slamming people and like just like that thing. But he's not like a massive dog, so it's not a huge problem. It's just like, I mean, I've had dogs, so I kind of know how it. Sorry. What? Oh, it's all right. I don't know who that was. Sorry. Just house is chaos at the minute. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right for me because I'm kind of like I'm just used to dogs. But with Vix, I don't think she's had them when they've been difficult, I guess.
So is he being difficult? Is a dog being difficult, or is it just energy?
Not as far as I'm concerned, but I can definitely see how it would be intimidating if you like it's switched on and I don't know how to switch it off.
Just play.
Yeah,
play until it's
yeah.
out.
You just got to wear them out.
Take it for a long walk.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, but it's it's going.
I mean, do you like the dog?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's
Has
ace.
the dog got a name?
Yeah, Rocco. But
Rocco, as in Modern Life.
yes, that's the one. It wasn't.
Okay.
It's the name he inherited. We didn't name him.
He inherited it
Yeah,
from a long line of Roccos.
Yeah, family name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. So how does the trialing thing work then? You just is it a trial to see if you fit with the dog?
Yeah, it's to see if we're happy with him and if anything goes wrong, and it's to see if if he works with our household and everything like that. But he was living with a fosterer in Alsager, and they we just we went to see him earlier in the week, and he was great, just really, really friendly, no problem with other dogs, no problem with people, no issues at all, so we just asked if we could have him for have him for a couple of days to see how he did in the house and see how we did with him and stuff. So, yeah. So it seems like if he's meeting new people, I should probably be with him. That seems like a thing at the minute. Because there's someone that came round that he hasn't met before, and there's nothing vicious about it at all. He just doesn't know his own strength. It's that kind of thing.
Running into people, you said?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Not growling or barking or being aggressive or anything. Just fucking running around like a lunatic.
Yeah. Well, it's dogs.
Yeah.
I've never understood. Like, I know you've said that Honey's very energetic, and you get freaked out when she's kind of greeting you at the door. I think it's kind of like it's a dog thing, really. It's just they're really happy things, and their happiness depresses you.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
that kind of trumps pretty much most of the stories, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at Nick Snip.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you've got a trial for another couple of days then?
Yeah. Well, I think until tomorrow night, and then we go from there and figure out if he works for us, if he doesn't work for us, and whatever. I mean, I say us. It's not me. Like as I said, like I'd be happy with any dog that came through the door. He could fucking eat my arm, and I'd probably still be fine. But it's like, because I guess I find it difficult to put myself in the perspective of someone who hasn't had a dog before. So there's things that others will freak out at, and I'm just like, that's just a dog.
But didn't your missus have lots of dogs around their house?
Oh yeah, not no experience, but just no experience as a pet. As like I've
had them as ornaments.
No,
this is my dog vase.
But like, if you have, I guess a lot of people, if they have a family dog, it's not necessarily them that looks after them.
Well, the weird thing for me is always, I think, what we're basically saying is different people react to dogs differently, don't they? I mean, I've got, when I got Honey, they told me that because it's a house protection dog, you shouldn't give the dog standard commands, such as, sit, lay down, that kind of thing.
Right.
Because if someone was to break into the house, they will say those words, and the dog could get confused, and it could work, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I've got, my little thing is, if I want Honey to lay down, I just say down. If I want her to get off of something, I say off. So if she's jumping up at somebody, I say off, and it comes off. But the amount of people who have known Honey for many years and still say down when she's jumping up, and she's like, or like she's up on something, is like, it's not a different language. Yeah. So like people get wired very specifically into how to treat all dogs, I think. So even something as simple as off is like a whole alien term for people who've had dogs before. Yeah. So I imagine, it's very different for different people. But yeah, the only weird thing, I guess, is if it's only 2 days, the dog might still be very excited about the fresh surroundings, won't he? Yeah. I mean, there was a noticeable difference between sort of like last night and this morning. Like last night was, holy shit, everything's new about this place. This morning was like, where the fuck have you been for 8 hours? Like it was like a different kind of excitement. There wasn't like an overwhelming thing. It was like it was different. But I think particularly with rescues, there is a thing of like, it can be. They say it can be months before you actually kind of see their proper personality. Because before they're settled.
Yeah. But then again, I was like, well, if he's been in a foster and if he's been in other places, in other homes with other dogs, it's not the same as kind of pulling a dog out the clink, like out of prison, essentially. Like he's been in a home. It's not like he's got to come out of his shell as much. Yeah.
Well, it's just, it's being settled and being like, right, the dog now knows, right, every day, this is where I wake up, this is what I do.
It's getting into the routine of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's progress, right? It's
great experience so far. Awesome so far.
It's good.
It's just unfortunate there was a slight freak out as soon as I left the room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got another friend who's got a dog, and the dog reacts very differently between him and his wife. Yeah. And it's like, there is a whole subliminal thing probably going on. Yeah. But like, it's as much the people getting used to handling the dog as the dog getting used to the place, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll come with time, won't it?
Yeah, 100%.
But that's progress. Yeah, progress. It went from thinking about getting a dog to scheduling conflicts with a dog.
Yeah.
to dogs now in your house.
There's one here. Yeah. No,
it's got a modern life.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully. It's weird, isn't it? Because you go like, hopefully the dog settles and everyone settles with the dog. But again, you kind of go, well, it's an ongoing process. So hopefully you find
you kind of
dog.
Have to try and you have to try and make sure that you know enough, I guess, before you settle. Because at the same time, like, I don't want to kind of like put him into a life that doesn't suit him just for the sake of like, well, no, we want a dog. Like, it's got to, our lifestyles and the way that we want to live has got to be suitable for his energy and his like everything else as well, I think. Yeah,
as in what's the conflict of lifestyle at the moment? Is it just, to be honest, you're not an exciting household?
No, at the minute there is.
Chill out.
At the minute there's nothing. Like, it's just it's just a hypothetical, and also right. I don't want to be in a situation where like, where like I'm saying like, yeah, no, 100%, like he's perfect, and for that to pressure Vix into being like, okay, he's great, I guess, rather than say like what she actually feels about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair, like I've always found it. I've always thought it would be really challenging for two people to get a dog.
Yeah.
Rather than one person getting a dog and being in a relationship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, I think it would be. I've always thought that'd be very strange. Because I'm assuming that once Vic sees your entire soul, like the very bottoms of it, she's going to leave you, right? So like, who gets the dog?
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, and it's been 10 years so far, so I've got to be scraping the barrel at some point soon. I mean, I'm nearly in my mid-30s.
Yeah, I mean, if you start exfoliating all of the... what Steve's inner demons? Steve's inner traffic lights.
Yeah.
Road rage is going to start pouring out your scalp. Sorry, I don't know. But yeah, good news. Good news.
Yeah,
I like to be supportive when I can, so I am being supportive.
Good. I'm glad supportive Nick is here. Good to talk to supportive Nick. Now bring back normal Nick.
Right, so fuck you.
Fuck you and your dog and your life.
Yeah, no, it's dogs are great. Dogs change your life, and I think owning your own dog is is a whole other new thing. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So this before we get more into it, this is episode 214. We're on YouTube. If you're just listening, give us a see of our faces. We're on social media, Pulling Teeth Pod and Pulling Teeth Podcast on Facebook. Amazon banner on the website, www.pullingteethpodcast.com, if you want to check out some more of our stuff. So how are you, Steve?
I'm good. That's all my news.
Good. Yeah, just all dog from yesterday.
Yeah, that's it. The rest of the week, fuck that. To be fair, no, it's been it has been the first week of independent working, like the first proper kind of full week, and that's been good.
It's good.
Yeah, rewarding, making your own schedule, like picking your own hours, but like actually having the responsibility to actually fucking work. Like it's but it's been good as first week go, banging, and now we're in lockdown, and it's the weirdest version of lockdown I've ever seen. Like the last version felt like a lockdown. This version sounds like they've just closed the pubs. We'll just drink outside.
Well, some pubs are still open. That's the weird one. There's pubs like protest opening. Essential
businesses only, right? So that's food, hardware, and that's about it. Right.
Car dealerships, apparently.
Right. Yeah. Card shops?
Sure. Why not? Car. Yeah. Why not card shops? Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a card from time to time.
Well, we went past one today, and it's like it's a birthday card's an essential thing. Like, if you don't get it, will you die?
Maybe it's a post office as well. Maybe post offices are essential.
I just don't. I think it's that thing of like this time you just kind of can't put the genie back in the bottle now. It's like, oh no, we did a lockdown and that's it. You can close the pubs, but we're still going out. I don't think anyone's taking it seriously.
Well, I think it's following on from last week and editing through it. I think the best way I can describe my feelings is I don't think people understand what quarantine means. They're like, quarantining, okay, yeah, but I still need to go clothes shopping. You can order it online. No, I have to go clothes shopping.
Yeah.
But I don't think you understand what a quarantine is. I think it's... Yeah, even like going to buy food isn't really quarantine. I mean, if you've been quarantined with Ebola, I don't think you're going to Tesco.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not really a quarantine. It's just a quarantine light. It's a restriction more than anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, be surprised at what things occur. Because and again, more people. And I think I know quite a few people have got it. One, because I've got a very large family, but two, like I was mingling with a lot of comedians and stuff like low-level stand-up comics.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going around to different venues and stuff like that, so they're more outgoing, meeting more people, so they're more at risk of getting it. But yeah, I know more stand-up comics as well that have got it, tested positive and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's like, yeah, it's still going on, but yeah.
And have they had sort of like some bad effects from it, or is it just, no, they came back positive, so now I've just got to rest?
I know they've had sickness, loss of smell or taste, whichever it is, stuff like that. So nothing destructive, but still real medical issues. But yeah, it does feel like I think people are just gonna rebel for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
We had to go to the shop today to get some dog related stuff, and it was just like, this is just a normal day. Car parks full, people everywhere, people doing Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, I just don't see how it's going to work.
I think, it's that, I think the two sides of the fence that you and I are on is, I think, would it be accurate to say that you feel the restrictions should be more tailored towards people actually doing it?
Well, I feel like...
I'm more of the feel of like people should just do it independently anyway.
I think if you want it to be effective, it has to be at least at the level it was last time, right? And I'm not saying I'm not saying that as someone who agrees or disagrees with the lockdown. I'm saying if you're gonna do it, it's got to be at the level it was last time, because otherwise it's like it is now, and it's just life is normal except we can't go to the pub, which isn't really what it was before. It was literally 28 days later in the streets last time.
Yeah. But yeah, and then people, it's how much you can enforce it. It's like you could deploy the military to the streets to force people to be in their houses.
And again, you don't want to do that. It's just...
But it would be more effective. We wouldn't want to do that because reasonable people should be able to quarantine. Yeah. But it seems like most people aren't doing it reasonably, so we have to take unreasonable measures. But then you're also moving
people up and down the country and deploying them into public spaces, which is exactly not the point.
If you get like a really big treadmill, right? Then that rotation, you can have some kind of conveyor system. They spray from above. I don't know. It's the rebellion again that I mentioned last week that I still don't understand. It's just, well, I'll give you another example. My worldview, I think, is the thing that's kind of, my camera still keeps moving. My worldview is that you should be able to do everything yourself, and you shouldn't have to rely on other people in order to manage yourself. So if you're able to, if there's a nationwide quarantine, it should be your responsibility to quarantine yourself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of it. I mean, I had quite a stressful week this week. I decided with Objective October.
Yeah.
I decided, you know what? Maybe I do want to live. So I'll have a look at like more improving my health a little bit more. So I decided to look a little bit into private healthcare, because I was like, oh, maybe.
Like Bupa.
Yeah, because like I've had, like I said before, I've had this joint pain for 7 or 8 months now.
Yeah,
and it's like it's just being delayed and delayed. So like, hey, if I get this checked out, at least then I'll know if it's something that I need to deal with more seriously or whatever. So I decided to do that. That cost a fair chunk of change. But on the way to it, my car broke down. So I've just spent, thousands of pounds on my car getting major serviced, where they broke it, kept it in for a week and didn't deal with it. Then I went to go to this private healthcare thing, and then they charged me for the appointment, even though I told them that I wasn't making it because my car was broken down. So it's like, again, it was like I've sent a private healthcare. I assumed it was meant to be more customer service based, as in like they're going to help you more, it's more tailored for you. But I'm assuming because of the whole pandemic it's a shortage, so they're like, well, you missed just your window, so You paid for the window. We gave you the window. You didn't make it.
Fucking hell.
So very, very frustrating. More frustrating because I just sunk loads of money into my car and it still doesn't work.
Yeah.
So my worldview is, well, who am I? I don't blame the mechanics because I should be able to fix my car. I should be able to. It's not the car dealership's responsibility to look after my car.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll help for a fee, but it's my responsibility. So I should be able to fix this. And if it's not, it's my That's my fault. And then, hey, I didn't get to the appointment, and there was lots of different reasons why I couldn't. But why didn't I just sprint there? I mean, admittedly, it's in Macclesfield, so it's like, I don't know, 20 miles, 30 miles. So it's like I should just been able to sprint it, right? So, yeah, I think that's the same frustrations I have. My attitude towards that is, well, I should have dealt with the situation better. Not, oh, bloody make of car, bloody private healthcare. It's not like, oh, bloody government when it comes to quarantine. It's like, no, is it reasonable? Can I reasonably stay completely quarantined? Yes. Will people do it? I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, nothing really new to report on the quarantine stuff, is it? It's just, still gonna suck.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this call, I'm again, another big topic that we don't really need to talk about, but I'm just curious because I've heard lots of different things. Biden has won the presidential election.
Has it actually? Apparently. Finally?
Yeah.
3 days later.
During this call, literally, like when you went to when we had the disruption, got the notification. Have you heard much about the Biden-Trump campaign? Any controversy?
A bunch of stuff, and there's a bunch of states now being sued, and a bunch of different polling stations being like, what the fuck was it that you were doing exactly there, where they were like covering up windows while people were counting votes, and just loads of weird shit where I'm like, I'm sure, let's say ideal world, I'm sure there was nothing untoward, but people are going to be looking for things untoward, so why the fuck would you do something so stupid?
Well, I've heard to the ridiculous extreme that apparently thousands of dead people voted, lots of cats voted. Yeah. But I haven't seen these articles. These are just, people have told me they've seen it on what I would regard as not unbiased media. So very biased media. Stuff like, Ben Shapiro, stuff like that, who's like quite reputable, but there's a bias there. So if I hear anything from him, I'd like to compare it to something else. Yeah,
100%. You look for both sides and then decide on the grey area.
So I've heard that, and the people I've heard this have been reporting from particularly, left or right media or whatever. So I'm interested to see what's true and what's kind of chaos. Yeah. But if there is, the problem with America is if there is any fraud when it comes to voting, then all of America collapses, right? Because they're built on democracy. Yeah. And I'm assuming the Democratic Party probably has some weight in democracy. So if there's any tampering at all, then and there's any proof of it found, then chaos. Right? Yeah. Just complete chaos.
Well, there's a discrepancy as well between legal votes and illegal votes, where they're counting votes that arrived after election day, which they're not allowed to do, or something like that. And whereas the Democrats have been arguing that they should be allowed to do it, Republicans have been saying, well, no, it's always been the law that we can't do that. And so it's there's a whole mess. It's a fucking mess. And I honestly don't care anymore. Sure. I was just like, at least over here, people can bitch about the whole first past the post system and say it doesn't work, it's stupid, it's not well representative. And it's just sure, all right, whatever. But at least when there's a vote, the next morning we know who's prime minister. That's it. It's not this stuff. Well, this state's got this rules and this state's got this rules. And it's this is dumb.
It's the potential for chaos that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Same with Brexit. It was I don't care whether we stay in the EU or we don't, but I'm interested in how people react to the voting process and what's going to happen regardless. So regardless of who wins the presidential election, I think there's still going to be loads of ridiculous chaos going on.
Yeah.
About whether or not, the dementia riddled senior citizen is
the trouble. No one's ever going to be happy things. Now. I expected Biden to win not by a landslide but by a margin, which I'm guessing is what he has done. And Like, and now we're gonna. It's like the whole Trump thing is just never gonna die. It's gonna be like, well, now we have to spend the next 20 years dealing with the repercussions of Trump. Like, all right. At what point is someone else going to take responsibility for the fuck-ups?
There was a thing that Bill Burr said on his podcast that it was like, if Trump loses and you live in a state that was voted largely for the Democrats, you should probably move, because I think some kind of vengeance is coming from Trump for those states over the next couple of months. Like, he's going to start fucking them over. And now we're doing nuclear testing in Pennsylvania. Because he's that kind of petty and that kind of thing.
That'd be good.
But, yeah.
It'd be entertaining from overseas, at least.
But yeah, it's just, again, whole view on politics is, I still think politics is kind of redundant.
Yeah.
But people obviously love the system, or people believe in it.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what I believe are contradictions come to light as people see it. The same way there was like with a Brexit vote, well, we need to have a second Brexit vote and we need to have a third Brexit vote. It's like, this is all interesting. This is fascinating. It'd be more interesting if every time you asked for a revote, you still lost.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. But it's a weird thing to happen. So yeah, I guess at this point in time, America, which is the 7th, is I guess America's still in one piece, and everyone's happy that democracy is still alive right now. We'll see what it develops.
Yeah.
I didn't ask last time. It was Halloween last time we podcasted. Did you end up doing Halloween stuff?
Nothing for Halloween this year. Didn't even get a pumpkin. Didn't do fuck all.
That's good. Because before you were like, you're still going to do the Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
If trick or treaters come round, you weren't sure what to do.
Well, no, we definitely. I think. Yeah, I don't think we were going to have trick or treaters around. That's the thing. Like, we weren't going to dress the place up so people came round, because it's like, well, we've got to be responsible at some point and whatever.
At some point.
Thinking
about getting another living creature to live in the house. Maybe responsible.
Very responsible. Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing Halloween. Didn't even watch a Halloween film, which is normally the thing.
Refused 100% to get involved in Halloween.
Not at all.
In any way possible.
Yeah.
I didn't gasp for the entire day.
Oh.
Didn't. Yeah. And then fireworks, November 5th. Did you do anything for that?
Nope. Nothing. Everyone else around us did, so we didn't really have to. Because fireworks are like, if they're in the vicinity, why bother?
I couldn't give a shit about fireworks. No. I don't know about you.
I like the fire
I think
aspect.
It's for kids.
I like the fire, sit
fire.
around the fire and toast marshmallows and that kind of thing. That's cool. But the actual fireworks is like, it looks nice. Sure.
It's just for kids, parents with kids.
Yeah.
There's a petition going around Stoke
to ban fireworks
sale to private citizens.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I got no problem with it.
Well, like we can't have guns, but we can have explosives. Which, but at the same time, like I get annoyed at like weirdly like dog owners starting petitions, being like, we should ban fireworks. Do you have any idea? But just because, like, aren't you meant to condition your dog to live in the world that we have, rather than changing the world so that they're comfortable with it?
And world that we have is exploding.
Is that not the case? Well, like I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I don't want any dog to be fucking terrified or petrified or anything. Like that's not nice. There are ways that you can condition them. There are certain things that you can do, which I don't think a lot of people try. They're just kind of like, oh no, it's scared, cuddle it.
There's like antidepressants for dogs.
Yeah, and CBD and tranks and stuff. But you can do like what's it called? It's almost like exposure to, but not explosives. Like I've seen people doing it, and they just get
party poppers.
They get like a firework display sound up on YouTube, and like over the course of like an hour, they put it on a speaker and just make it louder and louder and louder until the point where it's absolutely fucking deafening. And during that whole time, you just play with the dog and mess about with the dog, like in the garden with this series of explosions getting louder and louder, and eventually it's like just not fazed by them. And apparently a lot of dogs, most dogs this works on. There are some where they just won't. It just won't. But then I was like, well, look, you could ban fireworks, and it could make this period of the year much more comfortable for you and your dog and whatever. But You can't ban a car backfiring, and you can't ban a guy using a road drill, like a road maintenance guy. Like, there's always going to be something.
Sure, I think it's more of a safety issue for me. The amount of injuries from fireworks because people are stupid.
Yeah, if it's putting a burden on like the NHS or something like that, particularly at the minute. Like, I'm surprised, like, given the burden on the NHS with all the COVID stuff, apparently. That I'm apparently. Well, I haven't been there. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a mass conspiracy. I agree. Sure.
I haven't seen anything, so I don't know. I would have made sense this year for them to be like, no, we're not allowing it because we can't have more people going to hospital for stupid things like blowing off their hand. Yeah, but
I think it's more of a social thing, because you could say they could ban the sale of alcohol for the same reason, right? Alcohol is the number one reason people are in hospital.
Yeah,
why don't we ban alcohol at this
Sugar.
period? I think it's the same kind of thing. Yeah, driving, all these things, they could ban all these things to make sure people stop doing it. But there comes a level of, if you tried to ban alcohol, like, people would just break the law.
Yeah,
as is present in like American history or whatever. But yeah, it's more of a safety aspect. I mean, and with the dog thing, like, I mean, I play lots of explosions that's just how my brain is. But yeah, lots of explosions when playing video games or whatever, and Honey's desensitized to that. But it's the location, I think. So if it's outside, like, dogs they listen out for cars pulling up to your drive, and they could hear when the dog car's pulled up to your drive as opposed to someone else's drive. So if there's an explosion outside, they're like, something's happening outside, I need to tell people or whatever. But I'm all for. I don't see why we should allow gunpowder to be sold to the public. It feels like it's an accident waiting to happen. If you're going to see a display, you're going to see a much more magnificent display if you go to an event that is organised and properly structured.
Yeah,
you still get fireworks. You can't let them off in your kitchen.
Yeah, on the whole, I'm generally opposed to just banning more shit. I think you should, particularly as pertains to
what about hepatitis?
Well,
we ban hepatitis.
I mean, we could, but that's not possible.
Are you against it? I think it is.
Is it?
You could tax hepatitis.
If you get hepatitis, we're going to tax you through the roof.
No, not you.
Back onto the breadline.
The disease.
Just the disease.
The disease gets moved into another lower
tax
income
bracket.
Housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is where the hepatitis lives now. These are the hepatitis slums.
Oh.
You've got 4 tiers: A, B, C, and then question mark. I don't know.
Yeah, but then you'd be like,
are there more than 3 hepatitis?
Equal rights for hepatitis, and there'd be a load of protests.
Yeah. But yeah, weird times, and yeah. I mean, there was lots of ridiculous. I've got some articles about it, to be fair. But yeah, in my area as well, last year there was people posting fireworks through letterboxes on my street.
Yeah.
To the point where I had to go out and someone knocked on my door and said there's grown-ups chasing children around the streets. So I was like, well, this sounds odd, so I'll go and investigate. And it turned out that they were chasing kids who were putting fireworks through people's letterboxes, and it's like, that's just not on.
No.
So I guess it's kind of fine. Well, yeah, weird times. No explosions.
Yeah.
Elections. Dogs.
Yeah.
So on to the news.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did my medical stress, frustration, whatever. In news, we got a bunch of Stoke-on-Trent news this week. So we'll start off light. Lots of people, well, I don't know if you do know, but I've reported it a few times. Lots of people in Stoke are falling from bridges.
Falling?
Yeah, that's how it's been documented on the news, is they have fallen from a bridge. So okay. I think they've committed suicide by jumping off of a bridge.
Right, yeah, so we've drawn a line between falling and jumping.
Yeah, I mean, there's still gravity, I guess. There's still wind.
Well, right? if you just fall forwards off a bridge, I suppose you haven't jumped, have you? Jumped is...
No, but if you've done it intentionally...
There's propulsion.
Well, if you've hopped, it's half a jump, innit?
Yeah. I mean, you could pretend. Let's say you were like, well, I do want to commit suicide, but I don't want anyone to think I was committing suicide. So I'm just gonna go out for a jog and then just yeah.
But there's been a lot of them recently. So I think I've reported a few of them. But a 9-year-old girl has come to the rescue. And I don't want this to sound too negative, because obviously it's a 9-year-old girl. She's got good intentions. She's starting to write letters of inspiration to be held around bridges stuff like "bad days don't last forever." Yeah, that's the quote. Stuff like that. And I don't know about you, but that would make me jump more.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I think someone who's going to jump off a bridge has had more than one bad day. Like, this isn't their first bad day. This is the potentially last in a long string of bad days. Like, this one won't last forever. The others felt like they did. But this one definitely won't last forever. I'm putting an end to this one. I think
lots of suicides are really snap decisions. They're really just like millisecond decisions. They go to the bridge to consider it, but the decision to jump will only last a couple of milliseconds before they've jumped. That's kind of something bad. So I can understand, again, the merits of somebody seeing it and being like the context of their life being changed, and seeing it as a sign or seeing it as something. So I can see it as something good. But it would just oh great. So now I'm being lectured to by a crayon, or whatever. I just feel like I just found it funny because I think if I was in that situation, it wouldn't help. If anything, I'd jump off a bridge onto the person who wrote that.
Yeah.
It just feels like it. Yeah, for me it would be bad, but I'm all types of crazy, so that's probably fine. She did it following with the recent death of a teenager in her area. She got her, and it's with crayons. Oh, crayons. I didn't find the rainbows in the windows during this pandemic to be particularly inspiring either.
No,
I get it. Kids are kids. They can't use fountain pens.
I don't think it really did anything. I had to drive past a sign every day on my way to work that said, "Thank you, key workers." And I read it and I was like, I know you don't mean me. I know you don't mean me.
If anything, you're not thanking me. Cheers.
Yeah.
Fuck as I go to too. Work. People need Phillips head screwdrivers.
Yeah.
The mother said she's been creating these posters until her arms ache, and she's been on the internet researching quotes to include on them.
What a saint!
Inspirational. I hate inspirational quotes on social media.
It doesn't do anything. It's just it's disingenuous. This is how I feel. Is it? Did you feel like that before you found that on Instagram or whatever?
It is something that I know that it's got the best of intentions, but for people like myself, I just be like, oh, for God's sake.
Right, the people that like those inspirational quotes and stuff are the same people that don't write their own messages in gift cards. They buy the one with a poem in it, and they're like, that'll do. Essential gift cards, essential birthday cards. Yeah, she's quite sensitive and she overthinks things. Okay. Yeah.
She's a bit of a hindrance, if anything, and she was really worrying about the families of the people who take their own lives, as well as the emergency services staff who deal with that kind of thing on a daily basis.
Well, the family are still alive.
Think about the paramedics. Don't jump. Paramedics don't want to be called out.
Well, they get paid.
Chill out. They love this job. This is their passion in life. They love scraping people. Elsewhere in the news, in case you were wondering, in South Korea, delivery drivers have said that they want to live. And,
good.
Apparently, the delivery system of like home deliveries in South Korea is not like next day delivery. It's expected within a couple of hours.
Wow.
So that's just the way that they've gotten to that, and we've got a little bit of that in the UK. I think you can order it within like 6 hours or something.
I've got something coming today that I ordered this morning, and that's still weird to me.
Yeah, still very weird. But we've kind of got a little bit of it. But yeah, they're so overwhelmed that loads of people are just dying out of being overworked. But I'll go through it completely. The fates of 14 drivers cannot directly be linked to overwork, but their families describe the causes of death as kwarosa, a Korean term used for sudden death due to heart failure or a stroke as a result of extreme hard work. So very specific type of stroke or heart attack.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
So what would that be? That would be someone who's not slept enough or rested enough, I guess. And combined with stress, maybe?
Caloric deficit as well, probably. Just they're spending so much energy that they can't do it. And then, some people have started protesting. A warehouse depot the size of an aircraft hangar on the outskirts of Seoul last week, where several hundred workers for Lot Global Logistics were on strike, demanding better paying conditions. Their rally cry was, "We want to live." So, everyone live. Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's just it's I guess more people needed, or just less people ordering.
Desperate rallying cry. We just want to live.
Well, people are dying. I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of justified. I guess. Isn't
We don't
it?
want
Like,
to
please
die.
stop killing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the feeling of pressure from needing the money, so just kind of doing it.
It's like,
I mean, this wasn't that. I can't remember what country it was, but wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it China where Apple employees were jumping to their deaths because of overwork as well?
Yeah, it's well, I mean, they're not anymore because they put suicide nets up around the building.
Yeah.
But
good for morale.
It's the Apple thing is a weird one because it's a company that in the West has a really good moral barometer as far as the tech industry goes, with regards to people's privacy and like all the things that other companies seem to be pretty shady about. But they're still employing slave labor essentially.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, it's not our country. We just deal with the company. Like, yeah, but you know what the company are doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's obviously different sliding scales of it, but I mean, yeah, if you have to work in the UK, you can get a 0-hour contract, you can get unreliable pay and feel obliged to work 24 hours a day. I did multiple 48-hour shifts where it was just like you caught a little bit of sleep here and there.
Is that like when in like a restaurant or something?
Yeah. During like special events and live events and festivals and all that kind of stuff. So there's, loads of... It's a cheeky way of getting around it all, but yeah, there's definitely pressure for people who need to work, being forced to work.
Yeah.
Denmark's going about it a little bit differently. They're killing all the mink.
Oh, I saw that. Like 17 million of them or something like that.
Yeah, 15 million mink at the time of this article anyway.
So they've got
the
some
Danish
kind
Prime
of disease.
Minister. They're catching an evolved version of coronavirus, I
Wonderful.
think, is what they're saying.
It's spread to the mink. Don't make any
cuts.
cuts.
They're going to inherit the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like, I think they're killing them so that the virus doesn't evolve more, so that a vaccine has a more higher chance of being effective.
Right.
I think that's their thinking of doing it.
Yeah.
Army, police, and National Emergency Service are immobilised to help farmers with the mink cull, which will eradicate the entire Danish herd.
Christ.
So I like that the army's involved, because that kind of makes sense. If you need to kill 15 million mink, get the army in.
Yeah.
Police, they've got a history of brutality, right? They probably love an excuse to go out and club some mink.
Yeah.
National Emergency
This is my
Service.
mink club. It comes out of a case.
Yeah. The National Emergency Service, which to me screams paramedics and key workers.
Yeah.
Just like paramedics going out with defibrillators, killing mink. Volunteer blood testers.
Yeah.
Going around with bags of blood, spraying it on mink until they die. So if you're in Denmark and you got a mink, hit it with a claw hammer, I guess.
Oh.
Onto a lot of Stoke news this week. I'm just looking through. Yeah, it's entirely Stoke news.
Yeah.
Specsavers has issued an apology to a customer who pissed herself when she wasn't allowed to use the toilet.
Why? That's her fault.
Because she pissed herself, and apparently she used to piss in Specsavers on the regular.
But now she's not allowed to.
Because of COVID.
So, and she doesn't know where any other toilets are in the world.
There is one next door.
Right.
But she just didn't want to... I'll read through it because I don't want to be too inaccurate. Michelle Bailey, who has been diagnosed with an overactive bladder, needed to use the toilet when she visited the branch in Longton. Her medical condition means that she has little to no control over her bladder, and she'd had an operation on it 2 days before at hospital.
Right.
Despite what she said were repeated pleas to be allowed to use the staff bathroom, made to 3 different workers in the Specsavers, she says she was refused on the grounds of rules the store had brought in because of coronavirus.
Right, correct.
The optician's change said it was extremely sorry that she did not feel able to go to the toilets in the nearby precinct. So Specsavers is saying there's a toilet in the shopping centre or the streets, like public toilets that you can use. Please use those instead because of COVID restrictions.
Right, correct response.
I don't know. Sorry. It's weird, isn't it? Because like some petrol stations have toilets that you can use and some don't.
Yeah.
I've always felt that petrol stations are like every service must have a toilet somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But Specsavers seems really specific, as in like, why are you going to Specsavers unless your vision is impaired?
Yeah.
and you think it's a toilet, then it seems strange.
She's obviously
I'll
just
read
a
into
nutter.
it a little bit more. Well, it's understandable as well. We socially distant our bathrooms. We can't open our bathrooms to everybody. We didn't open them to everybody anyway. We opened them to people who really needed it because of a disability or because of an impairment. But now we can't even do that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
The 43-year-old from Mia said, when I went in...
43?
I asked if I could use... yeah. The 43-year-old from Mia said, when I went in, I asked if I could use the toilet, and the woman said no. I told her I've got a medical condition, and I've got my card to show her. Well, this I can piss in Specsavers card. It's like an old... it's made out of old Blockbuster video cards that they had no use for anymore. Since I had this operation, my stomach now swells up, and I'm getting severe pain. I can't control my bladder at all, which is why I need to use the toilet. I was afraid I was going to wet myself. The woman walked off, so I followed her. Okay, toward where the toilets were, as I've used them in the past. She went upstairs, came back down and said, I've spoken to my manager, and she said no. So the employee she asked went to, looked into it for her. Didn't just say no, sod off. Looked into it for her. So I picked up a bin and I was going to do it in the cubicle area because I was struggling. So upon that, she grabbed a bin and went into a cubicle, like a an eye testing cubicle, I guess.
Yeah.
For a Specsavers. The lady then came down and shouted my name. I popped my head around the corner and said, please let me use the toilet or I'll have to do it in this. She took the bin off me and asked me to leave. I tried to explain to her, and while doing so, I wet myself. It's a really strange thing to try and get support of her, right? Because you've asked if you could piss in their building, they said no.
Yeah.
They checked with management said no. You then threatened to piss inside the building anyway, on their property, and they said no. It kind of feels like you should you're not being treated how you want to be. I get that, but there are toilets nearby. Maybe the toilets aren't great, but again, it's not Specsavers opticians' responsibility to help you relieve yourself.
Yeah, no.
You need to be able to manage yourself.
I wouldn't unless maybe you're with a child or something like that, and it's like, fuck, she really needs the bathroom, and I've done a horrible job as a parent here, and I can't find one. Just any business will have a toilet. Let's go and find out. That's the only kind of scenario where I'd be like, maybe Specsavers, but why would you make a habit of going for a piss in a Specsavers?
Well, I think she's got a weak bladder, so she obviously goes to Specsavers quite regularly.
Right, but I know Longton, it's on the high street. Just go to another business. In the time that you spent arguing with those people.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just someone.
Exactly.
She's just stubborn. I always go here, and I know my rights. You don't have a right to piss in a Specsavers.
It's on Specsavers. Yeah. She's had the condition for over 10 years.
So you should know how to handle it by now.
Yeah. I do apologise. I did try to support, but I don't think I can. I think you need to take more personal responsibility.
Correct.
It's riskier for you to go outside, so unfortunately you need to be more prepared, I guess.
Yeah.
In other Stoke news, a man with 4 young children has been branded an idiot. You idiot! After setting off fireworks at a beauty spot in the middle of the afternoon. You idiot! This guy's an idiot. The firework rocketed into the sky. That's what fireworks do.
Yeah.
At Westport Lake near Tunstall on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
It's the latest complaint about fireworks being let off ahead of bonfire nights. This wasn't even on bonfire night. One visitor said, I've just got back from Westport Lake. There was an idiot man with 4 children under the age of 10 letting rockets off next to the swings at 3:30 p.m. What an idiot! Direct quote.
You shouldn't be lighting explosives in a park, really.
During the day.
Yeah.
Okay, it's you
can't even see it.
The quote does climaxes at this, in my opinion. You couldn't see them in the daylight, and half the dogs and birds were terrified. I can sympathise with a terrified dog.
Yeah.
I can't understand a terrified
bloke.
Crow.
Yeah. Oh, a bird.
Bird. Fly away.
Yeah, well, what's the worst that happens with a scared bird? Is it just flies somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you clap your hands, birds fly away.
Yeah.
And I get that this is loud, but, like, I don't know. Birds aren't necessarily... I think birds are known for their hearing. Like, I think owls are known for their hearing, maybe? Or their vision more so,
vision.
Isn't it?
It's always vision with birds. I don't think
so
it's ever really hearing.
Yeah, so, like, dogs have got very sensitive hearing, so I can understand big explosions terrifying the dogs.
Yeah.
But I just feel like a bird would just leave.
Yeah.
All right, then. Jeez.
Yeah. Guys,
the birds were terrified.
It was so bright over here all of a sudden. Not anymore, but it was for like a second. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I live in darkness.
I saw my friend Patrick.
Yeah.
It was actually a Catherine wheel.
Yeah.
Confused me, bummed me out, so I left.
Yeah.
I can't remember, apart from when
if
we
you're
lived
a bird
together,
and you see something fly into the air and then explode, like, is that my fate? I want to go out like that.
Yeah, it's more of just like it's a change my view of the world. I think I'll go to France or something like that. They're basically
that's Jerry. Jerry's going
birds.
Quick today. Oh fuck.
Yeah, the rain's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, the birds were terrified in Tunstall.
Yeah.
In other Stoke news, again, it's just funny to me. I can't explain why. A 22-year-old factory worker died in a tragic accident after being hit by a train. A British Transport Police investigation into the death of Michael Timmis showed him seemingly oblivious to the train as he carried a bottle of vodka and listened to music. So he was just walking along the tracks, I guess. Like, bottle of vodka in one hand, listening to Boogie Nights in the other, Saturday Night Fever.
Why?
What makes it funny to me is there's CCTV footage of it. I haven't seen the footage. It's not necessarily funny. But because of the CCTV footage, they saw his reaction to getting hit by a train.
Oh.
So there was 3 seconds between him seeing the train and getting hit by the train.
Oh.
And apparently he was just like, oh. So I think by saying 3 seconds, they're saying that he could have gotten out of the way.
Yeah.
But he could be too inebriated, not able to focus on the big light train coming towards him.
Yeah.
He just kind of turned around and was like, 1, 2, 3, bang, hit him in the head. And but it wasn't splat. It just hit him on the head at 80 miles an hour.
Oh.
So it was bad. CCTV footage released the hit. Train was behind him just 3 seconds before he was struck. And again, this is where it gets weird. So the train driver obviously heard a knock.
Yeah.
So stopped the train.
Funk.
But couldn't see it. There was no evidence that he hit somebody. Like, maybe it was like a scuff mark. Because maybe it just hit like the side of his head and just the impact. So it wasn't like covered in blood or anything. You can see a slight mark on the paintwork. There's no evidence that he struck a person. So he just carried on driving.
Yeah.
This is the bit that confused me. Mr. Timmis was unconscious, but was showing signs of life. So he was declared dead by paramedics.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Well, he's unconscious, isn't he? Is he alive? Yeah, but he's dead now.
Yeah.
Is he? Well, I'm saying he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he alive?
He's got signs of life.
No, he's not. Not anymore.
What is it with paramedics and declaring people dead when they're not dead?
Yeah.
Train. Have more training. They've admitted that they were showing, admittedly, slight signs of life.
Yeah.
But still, signs of life.
Yeah. Right.
Bake
Off's on in an hour. Is it quicker if he's alive or is it quicker if he's dead? Because I need to go.
Yeah, it's just fucking, I don't know. I don't understand it. He stands still holding the spirits. The CCTV footage, this is the official statement, I believe, from whoever's reporting on this or the police. The CCTV footage shows him turning and facing the train before he was struck. He was carrying a bottle of vodka.
Okay. Oh,
That's
no.
a good quote.
Have him deported.
Maybe the bottle weighed him to one side and was the effect of his death.
Well, I'm assuming he was drunk.
Yeah,
Right.
you just assume he was just wasted. He was listening to music, didn't see. Apparently the train came around a bend, so it wasn't like...
It sounds
saw it from miles.
very like with Nail and I, like just walking along the train track, pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he used to do it quite a lot. Apparently in stone, so I don't know how rural tracks are in stone.
Yeah.
But I guess happens. Train tracks have always been pretty cool.
I think there's a nice. It's not atmosphere, is it? There's a nice feeling to kind of like walking around train tracks and stuff. But I think particularly that if in like you get that in like more industrial areas where it's all like coal trucks and like empty wagons and shit like that. That's quite cool.
Freight.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think I'd make a habit of walking along train tracks. They always tell you not to do that. I mean, they tell you not to walk across them, let alone down them.
Yeah, I mean, they tell you not to go into card shops, but card shops keep bringing people in.
Yeah, don't walk on the train tracks during lockdown.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Another Stoke news. It's nothing crazy. I was just curious. Apparently, there's a really famous clock in Stoke.
Is it the blue one?
The Fletcher Morelands clock.
I don't know the name of it. I know there's a blue one in the middle of town.
No, this was like a digital clock on the side of like an industrial building that showed like the weather and the temperature and stuff. It was a digital clock, apparently. They've updated it because the old digital clock, the digits kept getting stuck. I don't know how that works.
I don't know it. I don't know where that one is.
I don't know. The digits started to stick. Don't know what that means. Nope. I'm assuming it was a software issue, maybe.
Yeah.
Or if they're saying that the digital 5 kept on getting jammed into something. Anyway, lastly from me and from Stoke, this is the actual headline. Absolutely fantastic. Mum, 48, found dead at home just hours after being discharged from Royal Stoke.
Fantastic?
Absolutely fantastic, Mum.
Oh.
just all right. Okay, weird people. I had a conversation with somebody recently. I went on a date with somebody who wanted to be a journalist, and I couldn't understand why. So I remember asking, but I don't like. It's not the same in the UK about trying to get a scoop and trying to uncover the truth. You're just writing a blog at this point. I hate saying at this point. It's my pet peeve of a phrase. No, so I'm going to rephrase that.
Well, I think it's the same. It's the same everywhere. Like journalists are just people with names that are on Twitter. That's all you are really. Because you do get like op-ed writers and like it's people who did creative writing at university. Essentially,
but isn't like journalism is a degree, isn't it?
It is. Serious journalism is, but they don't work for papers and outlets anymore. They go away and investigate like drug cartels and stuff like that. Like they're very rarely part of an organisation because they will inherently have a bias if they do that.
Aren't like news reporters meant to be journalists?
Yes, they are, but they're professional teleprompter readers.
Yeah, can you stand in Iraq? Yes.
Yeah.
2-1.
Can you stand in Iraq and read?
First.
Yeah, and can you hear me while you're reading standing in Iraq?
I mean, there's obviously way more to it, but yeah, I don't understand. I would like to know what journalism is now. Like, it's just writing. And writing, like, is there an element of detection? You have to investigate things.
Yeah, there is a degree of there will be a degree of opinion and stuff to it, but it is expected that you adhere to facts and that you find those facts on your own from sources, not just like, well, I heard on Twitter, which is what it's all like, turned into.
It's not like Lois Lane, where like Superman's turning back time and Lois Lane's reporting on this amazing thing that only she's got the inside scoop of.
Yeah.
It's like someone's emailed in saying, my second name's Corona and people don't believe me.
Yeah.
Whoa, front page.
Oh, banging.
It feels what it's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, this absolutely fantastic dead mum was found. She was in hospital for an accidental overdose. And I don't understand the direction of the article, but what I found funny was her husband Sirat Hussain, who slept in a separate room as he worked different shifts, went to see her at 9:30 a.m. the following day. She failed to respond when he tried to talk to her, but he didn't realise something was wrong until he checked again an hour and a half later.
Yeah.
She usually completely ignores me. Our relationship is dead. So, fine. Do you want eggs? Do you want eggs? Fucking... She's never been the same. Goes back later to come back. Oh, wait, she's dead.
Yeah.
In a statement, she said,
absolutely fantastic. Just
world class. Well, can we all just give her a round of applause? I touched my wife and she was cold. It was a bit of a blur, and my son began CPR. Apparently they found empty blister packs in her bedroom bin, so she'd taken pills.
Oh.
That weren't prescribed for her.
Absolutely fantastic, mother.
Brilliant. One of her children and her sister died in a car crash. Amazing. No, it's just why put absolutely fantastic into the title of a fucking article where a mum died?
I don't know.
But yeah, I think they're alluding here that she was in a car crash with her sister and her child. She survived, but they died.
Yeah.
So I think they're suggesting that maybe it was depression. Maybe there was something else going on. She was on these unprescribed pain medication. Maybe it was an intentional overdose.
Yeah.
But it's been ruled as unintentional. But at one point, before she died of an overdose, she opened a car door on the motorway and threatened to jump out. Luckily, she was driving over a bridge and saw a note written by a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She was also diagnosed with a bipolar disorder, so could obviously be something else going on. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. That's me this week.
Sorry, distracted by the dog.
That's all right.
All right. Well, I've got a whole set of things, but to be honest, I need to let him out. So I'll just run through one.
Okay.
The designer Arnold Putra has welcomed into his winter collection a limited edition set of handbags made from ethically sourced alligator tongues and children's spines.
So long as it's absolutely fantastic. So long as it's ethically sourced tongues and child spines, I've got nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Limited edition. Alligator tongue. These are the features. Alligator tongue and human spine bag with a unique pattern construction. Natural finish. Protruding scar stitching finishes.
Children.
Yeah. Large main compartment. Good.
That child was spacious.
Yeah. Raw edge finishes. The shell is 100% alligator tongue. And the handle is 100% human spine.
Lovely.
Apparently, the guy visits tribes and trades goods with them for human bones.
Human bones.
Yeah. So like, I'll give you like this 8-pack of beans. You give me a spine.
You give me your son's spine.
Yeah.
Son, step up for the tribe.
Yeah. I mean, thus far, I've been an absolutely fantastic mother. Today, I break the streak.
Today, my son's a bag.
Yeah. There's a picture of it. It's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it technically, but same thing as like cannibalism. There's just a weird instinctive reaction.
It's the thing. It's like they were dead anyway, but like there is a thing of like, I mean, it's a Western.
Spine.
Maybe it's a Western thing. It's like human remains. It's just.
But it's not your spine. You know what I mean? If it was your spine, I think it would be fine. Is the fact that somebody's spine's been taken and turned into a bag without their consent.
Yeah.
So if it's a cultural thing where they accept that their bones will be sold for fashion accessories, then maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the assumption is that child was like didn't want to be a handbag.
No, probably not. It didn't dream of it. It didn't. That child didn't like write a letter on a bridge and be like, "Oh, I want to be a bag." Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But I'll leave it there because I don't want to leave him trapped in this room for much longer. Trapped.
No one wants to be trapped with a Steve.
No.
Well, yeah, I guess
he's essentially just watched me talking to myself for an hour.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
There is definitely a thing about constant eye contact.
Yeah.
That's kind of endearing in a way, but also kind of like I'm not worth all this attention.
Yeah. I didn't agree
you're a dog.
to this. Like, yeah, there is a weirdness to it. But yeah, I'll go let him out.
So to conclude that part, so the dog's trial is reaching a verdict tomorrow night.
Yes.
Or is this you give the dog back tomorrow night regardless, and then you get into contact, or is it?
So I think it's
you could
that.
potentially say
I
thumbs
think
up.
I think the dog goes back tomorrow regardless. and then we figure it out. But I'm not entirely. This is new to me. I'm not entirely sure, and it's like I say, it's just come from like a private fostering household in like one town over. So like I don't think there's any like hard and fast rules about it. We just said, can we live with him for a couple of days and see how it works out?
So they do allow people to adopt dogs.
Yeah.
You just asked.
Yeah. The actual adoption centre still, after getting back to me saying we'll get back to you, never got back to me. So that's now been 6 weeks, maybe 7. Good. Yeah. Definitely really good at rehousing dogs. That place, amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so potentially, keep us updated. See how it goes.
Yeah, we'll do. I didn't want to give any definites and anything as of yet. I haven't done any social media shit. But by the time
you haven't created an account for the dog.
No, it's just like people post pictures and shit all over the place, and I don't want to be like, "This is my dog. Where's your dog?" Well, I gave him back.
It's gone.
He left.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, see how it goes. Out of curiosity, because I always find it interesting, you said the dog doesn't sleep in your bedroom. So does it sleep in the kitchen in a cage, or you just leave it around?
Downstairs? It's got a crate, but we don't lock it in at the minute.
Yeah. So it's just a free roam of downstairs, basically.
Yeah, and it didn't say it's only been here for overnight once, but didn't cause any trouble. No noise, no mess, no chewing, no pissing by the door, nothing. It's fine.
Yeah. I was very uncomfortable when I first let Honey downstairs. Obviously, very different because she was a puppy.
Yeah.
Like, very young. So it was like, didn't really want to do that. But yeah. Good steed.
Yeah.
Support.
Yes, support. Radiating. Absolutely fantastic.
I've said good. I think I've done some support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's good. Yeah. As far as the dog thing goes, incredibly positive.
I support the dog wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
If the dog needs someone to talk to,
100%.
Give me a ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah. So cool. By the time this one comes out, I'll probably know whether we're keeping him or not. I imagine. Yeah.
It's weird. I guess there's no pressure. There's no feeling to be pressured. Don't rush into it, I guess.
No. And we've been clear about that the whole time, and more to the point, I've been clear about that with Vix. We've been like, if there's anything about this that's uncomfortable, this has to be for us both. So I'm not gonna be like, we're definitely keeping this dog and you're gonna like it. Like that's not a thing.
I think I would do that.
And that's exactly why you're single and I'm married.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I could never give up a dog, even if I only had it for 2 days.
To be honest,
because of somebody else.
It's not even been 48 hours yet, and I will have trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I find it weird when people offer to look after my dog for a little while. I'm like, yeah. It's
I will have trouble, but I'm fully prepared. There is a part of my heart that has remained closed off, and it's going to stay that way.
It won't, but there's part of your heart that still belongs to your wife.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it. So
that's the part that's closed off.
Either dog withdrawal or marriage withdrawal.
Yeah. One's significantly less expensive.